Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Expeditions Viking. In the last episode, we had to take care of some drunken clan members who were more than a little traitorous. Now it's time to talk to our mother, since our cousin has challenged us to control of the clan itself. Your mother wraps you in a warm embrace. There is a hint of tears in her eyes.
Well fought, my child. Your father would be so proud.
The clan is at war with itself. Was father really such a poor thane? She looks away.
Ald was always more a warrior than a leader, but he was no worse than most. This isn't really about him. It's about ambition and greed.
There'll be another fight tomorrow.
Aslafer. I know. Aslafer is a skilled warrior. You would do well to make some preparations.
I want to face him on equal terms.
Don't be ridiculous. This duel could be to the death, and there are no rules to break in such a contest. You need every advantage you can get. It may not seem like it now, but most of our clan remains loyal to us. If nothing else, then because they'd prefer you as Thane over Aslafer. Go to Halda in the bog and ask her for help. She is old and wise, and she has many ways to weaken a man.
It'll take more than an old hag's brew to beat Aslafer. Poison? I want to beat him, not kill him. I don't like to deal with that witch. Good idea. A drop of poison might do the trick. Poison? I want to beat him, not kill him. Astrider runs a hand over her graying hair as she thinks.
There is another option. Sigridur may have an idea. She is good at setting traps for creatures of the forest. She may know of a trap large enough for a man. Other than that, Kveldolfer may be willing to get you some better equipment. You shouldn't go into the duel with those old weapons Ald gave you for training.
Okay. Something to prove. Optional. Ask the Huntress Sigridur to help you set a trap for Aslafer. Ask the smith Kveldolfer for better equipment for the duel. Seek the advice of Old Witch Halda in the bog. End the feast and get some rest for tomorrow's duel. Well, first of all, we did gain 10 skill points, so we could go ahead and bump up our sword skill. We could bump up our bow skill, but I'm going to hold off on that. We could get an ability, Anticipate Opening. The next attack will always be a critical attack. Charge makes a melee attack with +5 damage for every hex you move before attacking the target. Cripple makes a ranged attack that deals 25% damage but takes away all the target's moves on the next turn if it hits. Rebuke, a kick that moves the target 1 hex away. Stun, a melee attack that applies the status effect Stunned. And Throwing, governed by Perception. Unlock several abilities related to throwing things and people. Anticipate Opening might be good. The next attack will always be a critical attack. But I imagine that would sacrifice something. Healing is not usable on yourself unless they've changed that. So, I don't know that would be any good. Those wouldn't help me any. Now some of these might help. Let's see. Avenger grants plus 10% damage on any... No, that's not going to help. Let's see. That's not going to help. Halves enemy critical chance. Plus 5% points range damage reduction. Flanking's not going to help. Fortune Favored grants plus 3% points critical chance for all attacks. It's not bad. Good Patient, Hardened, can't afford Hardened. Keen Eye, 50% armor piercing for all attacks. That might be good. %10 damage when 8 or more hexes away from the nearest friendly unit. That would be a one-time bonus, though, because usually I won't be doing that. Low profile. That's not going to help. 5% chance to get one extra attack when using normal attacks. I mean, if it triggered, that would be great. Sexist attacks against the opposite sex do plus 10% damage. That would be beneficial. Increases physical resistance by 10% points. That could help. Because I'm not going to be dealing as much damage as he will. So that's kind of the key. I cannot increase my sword skills, so that's out. Charge could be good. Plus 5 damage for every hex you move before attacking the target. Well, let's go talk to the other characters, and then we will think about what we want to do. First of all, ask Sigridur for help. Let's see. She is over here. Let's go see what she has to say. Sigridur is the clan's best hunter, and is married to the other full-time hunter, Ljotter. She bows her head respectfully as you approach her.
Sael Elmendreda, I witnessed Aslafer's challenge. Is there anything I can do to help?
Are you on my side in this dispute? Astrider suggested you might know a few tricks to aid me in the duel. Is it possible to trap a man the way one might trap a bear? Let's go with this first option.
Aslafer is a good man, honorable and dutiful. His family is always fair in their dealings. But your father was lax in his rule, and I admired that.
Ah, she's a libertarian.
He may not have built a strong and fearsome clan, but he respected us and put great trust in us all. I hope you'll continue that legacy, and I know Aslafer certainly wouldn't.
Astrider suggested you might know of a few tricks to aid me in the duel.
Tricks? Perhaps there was one thing I can do. Your uncle Grimulfer told me a story once. He was with Alden Geatland to fight the Sigurdur Ring.
Fight for Sigurdur Ring.
And he was tasked to ambush a group of mercenaries riding to reinforce the enemy. According to Grimulfer, your father wanted to split up the riders with a surprise attack, so he had the idea of suspending a strong net above the path and running the rope across the ground concealed by branches. When the first horse stepped on the rope, it came loose and dropped the net down on the rider, tangling him up and causing him to fall off the horse.
That sounds ridiculous.
It hinges on whether he expects a trap and how well it's hidden. I know how to hide a trap well enough from anyone.
I'd rather not take the chance. I don't want to win this dishonorably.
Sigurdur looks slightly disappointed. I understand. It was crazy. It was a crazy idea anyway. I wish you luck out there tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really. I'm not planning on doing the dishonorable options. Let's go talk to Roskva the Black. Roskva always sounds more like a Russian name to me than Norse, but come on down. There we go.
Why are you here?
Hey, she has a voice. Yay! Because she is a character that you can get. The witch's apprentice is tending the candles around the old tree. She stands when she sees you, squinting through damp locks of raven black hair that droop in front of her face. I'm the thegn. I go wherever I please. Don't talk to me like that. No, I'll be reasonable. I'm here to see Halda. The girl fidgets with the candle in her hand, picking up the wax with a long nail.
Are you sure? Today isn't one of our good days.
She and I have that in common, then. What do you mean by that? Just fetch her, please. We'll start with this one. An uncertain smile crosses her lips.
How's that?
Seems like half the clan wants me dead. I'm fighting Aslafer on Holmgang Island tomorrow. Her eyebrows jump ever so slightly, but her voice remains monotone.
Oh, wow. You'll be wanting some sort of poison, then.
You know about poisons? She smiles in much the same way that a cat might smile at a gull.
I've picked up a few things from Halda. If she's too difficult, come talk to me again. I might be of some help.
Okay. So do I talk to you again in order to... Where did you go? Ah, there you go.
You've got visitors, Halda. It's the thegn. Come out and say hello.
Hulda Crowtalker. I didn't realize that she walked away. The old witch emerges from her burrow, supported by her brooding apprentice. Her knees shake with each slow step, and she wears an expression of deep concern. She stops a few yards outside the hut and blinks at you confused.
What are you doing home so soon? Did you decide not to go?
I haven't gone anywhere. What are you talking about? I need your help with something. I haven't gone anywhere. She takes an unsteady step forward.
I made an offering to Thor when you left, and that same night he struck the big willow with a thunderbolt. He brought you back safely, just as he showed me that he would.
Roska speaks softly to the old woman.
This is Elmendretta, the daughter of Ald and Astrider. Do you remember her?
The old witch blinks again. She looks at Roskva for a long moment, as though searching for something in the girl's eyes. Then she shakes her head, annoyed.
Of course I remember. Don't give me that look like I wouldn't remember.
Her attitude turns back to you, but her voice is an impatient bark now.
Why are you here?
I need your help with a duel. She holds up a hand, one long, dirty, frayed nail pointed straight at you.
I told you that you would need the mixture, but you wouldn't take it.
Roska's tone is cautious.
Halda.
Venom sizzles beneath the old witch's curt admonishment.
Quiet, girl.
For a long moment, nobody speaks. Hulda's eyes bore into you long past the point of discomfort. Then they seem to glaze over. I was hoping you could help me. Her eyes wander aimlessly.
Of course I'll help you. I always do what I can for you. Last time I gave a good fat rabbit to Thor that he might watch over you on your journey. That very night the big willow was struck by a thunderbolt.
The apprentice tugs gently at the crone's arm.
You already said that, Halda.
The old woman grabs Roska's hand and digs her nails into the underside of the girl's wrist. Roskva winces visibly.
Don't lie, useless cow. I know what I said. I'm not an idiot. You're not well today. Your memory...
The old hag screams so spittle flies from her mouth.
Get out of here! Go! I don't want to see you here again! Don't you ever come back here, you lying goat!
Roska sighs, defeated, and walks away. On her way past you, she pauses and mumbles, so only you can hear.
That's the third time today she's banished me forever. She'll call me back when she wets her bed again.
Hulda stares after her apprentice through narrow eyes as she leaves. You shouldn't talk to Roska that way.
She's out to make me look like an imbecile so she can be the new witch. Don't listen to a word she says. There's nothing wrong with me.
But she was right. You told the same story twice.
Don't you dare. I know what I said. Just tell me what you want so I can be rid of you.
You know what? I think we're good here. Never mind. I hope you get well. Hulda shouts after you as you leave.
There's nothing wrong with me. It's just that evil girl. Fine, get out of here. And don't you ever come back.
Alright, let's go talk to Roska. Roska's voice is a timid mumble when you find her again.
I'm sorry you had to see her this way. She's just having a bad day.
Let's see. You have nothing to apologize for. That's just great. I have half the clan against me, and the witch has lost her mind. I'll just have to fight Aslafer fair and square. To hell with how her day has been. I need a poison. You mentioned earlier that you might be able to help. You have nothing to apologize for.
It's kind of you to say that, but I grieve for Halda. She is a wise woman, with a lifetime of knowledge of the plants, the gods, and the spirits. I hate to see her mind unravel like this. If you'd caught her on a better day, I know she could have helped with your duel.
It's all right. I'll make do without her aid. The young witch musters a half-smile.
You may not have to. If you will accept help from a witch's apprentice, I may have something you can use.
She sticks an arm deep into her knapsack and pulls out a small jar.
It's a powder. If he ingests this in the morning, he'll barely be able to stand at noon.
Thank you, but it's too much. I only need a small advantage. Roska closes her hand around the jar.
This is all I have. I could do more if you had time to wait. I promise it won't kill him. Are you sure you don't want it?
I'm sure. Thank you for your help with Halda. Roskva nods, and she gets back to the candles.
I will ask Thor to aid you tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright. Yep, I don't want to beat him with poisons or traps. I am pretty sure that I can end up beating him on my own. Let's go ahead and follow us this time. I mean, I have a fairly strong character, so... The smith Kveldolfer has retreated to the familiar confines of his workshop, where he's engaged in an energetic discussion with his wife, Dagerder. They break it up when they see you coming, and Dagerder wanders off to find someone else with whom to gossip. So Erlinger finally lost control of his idiot sons, did he? Glad to see you made it out of that mess in one piece. It's been a long time coming. Seems like everyone anticipated the attack except me. I'll go with the first one. Kveldolfer nods sagely. Erlinger's feud with your father has been boiling since they were both young. He spent a long time passing that animosity on to his children, the bitter old fool. I'm glad you didn't kill them all. When a clan starts shedding its own blood, it rarely stops until entire families lie dead.
Aslafer has challenged me to a duel. Is there anything you can do to help me?
I heard. Sorry, my girl, I'm not getting involved. I've known you both since you were small children. Aslafer used to help me out in the smithy. I won't have either of your blood on my conscience.
I don't plan to kill him. I just have to beat him to defend my seat. Sounds like you'd prefer him as thegn.
No, let's go with this first option. The smile crosses his massive... the smith crosses his massive arms and shakes his head. Such things rarely go according to plan.
And I have forgotten to start my timer.
In the heat of the moment, with a sword in your hand, I won't be responsible. The decision is final.
Aslafer is a strong warrior. I need him and his axe to defend the clan from our enemies. But you know our clan is safer and stronger with me in charge. That's with leadership, sense. Kveldolfer, denying my request will not keep Aslafer safe. It will only put me in danger.
Let's try the leadership one. Kveldolfer crosses his arms and squints at you for a long moment. Then he releases a sigh. He does have a poor head for tactics, but I will not give you steel to swing against him. However, I can help you stay safe. Here, let me get you a good sturdy set of quilted armor. It'll serve you better than that shirt you're wearing.
The smith disappears into the back of the shop to reemerges with a thick quilted shirt in his hands. He presents it to you with a solemn nod.
This is the best I can do to aid you. If the fight goes well, you can keep it.
Thank you, Kveldolfer.
Aye, Eki et Daka. Just be careful out there.
Daka? You can make guns and you're not giving me one. With that, Kveldolfer seems to decide he's done enough smithing for today, and he starts the nightly ritual of meticulously putting his tools back in their place. Alright, well, we should have some new equipment. Kveldolfer's cured armor. Let's go ahead and wear that. Let's see. So, takes us from 4% melee damage reduction to 40% melee damage reduction, and our movement is reduced to 5. We also have lots of stuff. Poles, tar, lots of tar, poison, rope, powder, honey, cloth, grease, iron, bladder, animal pen flower, a beautiful little flower with thin, pale petals that you pulled out of a pile of animal shit near your homestead. A tall and prickly flower picked out of the salty sand along the coast near your homestead. We can also go with weapons, armor, talismans, craftable combat items, and quest items. Apparently not ingredients, or whatever those would be called. Alright, so what do we want to do with our 10 points?
I mean, I could get plus 25 damage if I can move my full movement and attack him. But I think I'd only be able to get that once. So something here, a passive skill, is going to be better, I think. Plus 50% armor piercing for all attacks might be good. I don't know what kind of armor he's going to have. Walk your shots isn't going to help. Increases physical resistance by plus 10% points. You know what? Just taking less damage might be best. Unless there is something else that... Well, there is sexist. Plus 10% damage. I wish things would be grayed out here, or not necessarily grayed out like that, but grayed out slightly when you don't have enough to get them. To upgrade a skill, click on its icon and then press this button, if you have enough skill points. To the left of the button, you can see how many unused points you have, in addition to your total. Remember to check the screen once in a while to see if you've earned enough points to unlock a new skill that you want. Skill points are exclusively earned from completing quests and from finding cairns. So we won't get skill points for defeating things in battle. Right now my damage is 41 to 48. I mean, Relentless is really good. Is there anything that's 1 or 2 points? No. %, extra damage would be roughly 45 to 52. I only have a 1% chance at critical, though. Which could be good. And I don't know exactly what his damage is going to be. I could reduce the movement penalty for armor by -1 to a minimum of 0, which means that I'd be back up to 6. Not sure exactly what how armor piercing works. Let's see if we can figure that out for a second. Armor piercing 2. Crit chance is 1.1. Damage 9 to 16. So plus 50% would be... That would take that up to 3. That would go up to 4.5. That is the wrong option. Alright, I think that actually the damage reduction is going to be best. Thick skin. Although I don't know exactly how that's going to operate. I don't know. 10% extra damage I think might just be the better thing. Let's go with that. Alright, I got 4 points that I can spend. Well, I could get something that costs 3. Well, that's 4. That's not going to help me any. That's not going to help me any. It's not going to help. I am going to want that eventually, but it's not helping any now. This would be good now, but would it be good in the future? Lone Wolf, 10% damage when 8 or more hexes away from nearest friendly unit. I mean, it's only 3 points. No, I'm not really seeing anything that's all that helpful. Preserving would be good. Diplomacy, don't have enough. I could bump up my cooking. Maybe we'll save our points for later. I don't know that there's anything else that I really want right now. Let's see. Throwing. Throw rock. Throws a stone as a ranged weapon, dealing damage on a hit, but with no critical chance. Like with any other ranged attack, a miss will still apply the status effect Harried. Mental resistance base DR is 0%. Toss. Select a friendly or enemy character, and then select a hex adjacent to your own position to throw them into. Wow, that could be fun. Throw axe. Throws a small axe at an enemy, using perception for accuracy and strength for damage. Max distance is 5 hexes plus 1 for each rank of throwing. Like with any other ranged attack, a miss will still apply the status effect Harried. That does not say whether it's a free action or an attack action. I mean, to throw rock of, you know, throwing a stone as a free action, screw that. I'm going to take that. If it's a free action, might as well, right? You know, free chance to do some damage. We'll go with that. Let me take a quick check of my time on this episode, and it is about time to end it. So I think we will call this an episode here. And when we return, we're going to go ahead and get the whole gang started. See you next time, everyone.